News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Ron Taylor. There's a new challenge facing U.S. officials at the southern border. Bob Agnew is following the story.
Senator John Cornyn says the Mexican drug cartels have been using drones.
There's reports that they are using them against rival cartels in Mexico.
Cornyn says so far there are no reports of cartels using the drones at the border, but he says once their use becomes commonplace, that could change.
They're very cheap and easy to use, and they're using them in a variety of ways, and so that's certainly a danger that they might expand or use to weaponize them.
Senator Cornyn was interviewed by the Salem Radio Network. Bob Agnew reporting.
President Trump told West Point graduates yesterday he's learned how important it is that people choose a career in something they're passionate about.
Many of you that are graduating, you come from military backgrounds or you love the military. It's what you want to do. It's what you want to talk about. One thing I see about people that love the military, that's all they want to talk about.
President Trump telling West Point graduates they're all winners.
You could have done anything you wanted. You could have gone anywhere. You could have gone to any school. This is one of the hardest schools to get into. And writing your own ticket to top jobs on Wall Street or Silicon Valley wouldn't be bad. But I think what you're doing is better. Instead of sports teams and spreadsheets and software, you chose a life of service.
Jet engine maker Pratt & Whitney has reached a tentative agreement with a union representing 3,000 machinists in Connecticut. They've been on strike since May 4th, demanding improved job security and better wages, retirement benefits, and health care coverage. Members of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers are scheduled to vote May 27th on the revised contract offer. News and analysis at townhall.com.
Summer is all about making great memories. Boy, I love getting out on the boat. I admit that one of my little joys in life is to get on a boat and ride around on Tampa Bay. But if you're living with pain, those future memories could be stolen from you. Here's a thought. Try Relief Factor. Let's see if we can get you out of pain. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement designed to help your body fight pain. It's a doctor-developed formula made of natural ingredients. The best part of all, Relief Factor never masks the pain. It helps reduce or even eliminate it for good. Whether it's doing what I do, whether it's kayaking on a lake, running around the little ones, or just chilling in the hammock with a good book, Relief Factor can help you feel better, move better, and do more of the things you love all summer long. So if you're ready to reclaim your summer and make some amazing memories, head over to ReliefFactor.com or give them a call at 800-4-RELIEF. 800-4-RELIEF. Do it now and get their 3-week quick start for just $19.95. The number again, 1-800-4-RELIEF. 800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
There's some changes in the National Security Council. Donna Waters has this report.
Officials who requested anonymity say President Donald Trump is ordering a major overhaul of the National Security Council. Some political appointees will be ousted, and many career government employees who came from other government agencies will have the opportunity to return to their home agencies. Earlier this month, National Security Advisor Mike Waltz was ousted, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio has been serving as National Security Advisor since then. The NSC, an arm of the White House that advises and assists the President on national security and foreign policy, employs about 395 people. Donna Waters, Washington.
Relief is on its way to 8 states. President Trump approving a series of major disaster declarations. Some states have been waiting actually for a number of months. Breaking news and announcements at townhall.com. It is Memorial Day weekend as our nation remembers those who died while serving the U.S. military. This year's observations coincide with anniversaries for 3 branches of our services. It's the 250th birthday of the United States Army, Navy, and Marine Corps. Additionally, it's the 80th anniversary of the end of World War II, 75th anniversary of the start of the Korean War, the 50th anniversary of the end of the Vietnam War. Memorial Day is 12 Joseph made the ultimate sacrifice. More at townhall.com.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WDF ownership or Hometown Talk Radio. Content aired on all programs are those of the host and their guests. Hey, Joey, what's happening? I mean, what's happening in Middleboro and surrounding towns? It's time for the Middleboro Weekend Review with your host, Joey Driscoll. Stay tuned for news, Middleboro news, here on AM 1530 WBBS. Hey, Joey, what's happening?
And good morning, and welcome to Middleboro in Review. I am Joey Driscoll. Today is the 25th of May, 2025. It is the... what are you doing, Don? Well, we'll get to that in a second. Now I lost my train of thought. Start over. Welcome in. Today is Middleboro in Review, and it is the 25th of May, 2025, the last Sunday in the month of May, I believe. Yes. 31 days in May. May 31st would be Saturday, so June 1st would be Sunday. Yep, so this is the last Sunday in the month of May. So, yeah, awesome stuff. Finally the weather's starting to kind of warm up a little bit. This entire month has been interesting, to say the least, when it comes to the weather. Don?
Yeah.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to make you hungry right off the bat. I saw this, I wanted to talk about it. Lobster Roll Day, Friday, June the 6th. All meat lobster roll with mayo, no fillers. That's good. Served with coleslaw, potato chips, and Arts Bakery molasses clove cookie.
No corn on the cob? No corn there?
I don't know. Guess not. $20 per roll. The Episcopal Church of St. Thomas, 111 High Street in Taunton. Again, this will take place Friday, June the 6th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Or the evening, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Pickup or free delivery for 6 or more rolls in the Taunton area. You can pay by check or Cash App. Please make checks payable to St. Thomas Church and order by mail. St. Thomas Church, Lobster Roll Day, P.O. Box 149, Taunton, NA 02780, or fax order form 5089 772460 by June 2nd. And the Cash App, apparently that number is 508-933-9652. Okay, here we go. Lobster Roll Day.
Wow.
Yummy.
I like this. Who puts these together?
The PSAs?
Yeah.
Chris does.
He does such a good job. He really
Yes,
does.
absolutely.
It says lobster roll. Big thing.
Lobster roll.
Right, he highlights it, right?
Yep.
And then highlight the date.
Yep. Lobster Roll Day. I'm already hungry
Is
already.
he going? 20 per roll.
I don't know.
So, yeah.
Maybe.
You know, I love the idea when, they have these events for food, and that food sells out.
Yeah.
Because you never like food being wasted.
No, exactly.
And then they'll help the church out a lot, probably.
Yes, they'll help the church out.
Fundraising or
So
whatever they were
it's-
trying to do.
You got good food and you got great cause
Yeah.
as well. So I wanted to start with that today because
Give me a lobster roll.
make both of us hungry. To start the show today.
I'm in the mood for some French toast. Can we get some French toast after work? After the show?
After the show, yeah, where?
You know where we like to go. It's in Middleboro. We go there. We can go anywhere. I bet there's going to be lines, though. There's a lot of people who go to breakfast, especially this weekend.
Yeah. All right. Weather. Now, I did mention that the weather is starting to get a little bit better and a little bit warmer, which
I
is a
think
good
tomorrow's the better day out of the weekend.
out of the entire week, I think.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that in a second. But Taunton, outside of our Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios here at 14 Church Green, it is 51 degrees, and the high of 52 and the low of 49 today. Flood warning is still in effect up until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. It'll be a little bit windy today, but a little bit warmer, so hopefully that's not going to make it cold. But a little bit warmer today, but the wind is still kind of there. Wind gust up to 20 miles per hour today. Kind of cloudy throughout the week. Monday, probably the pick of the week. It's starting to look like Tuesday might actually be the pick of the week. It looks like Tuesday, same weather for Monday and Tuesday, but it's warmer on Tuesday. 74 degrees on Tuesday, 67 on Monday. Then the clouds come in and the rain comes in for the rest of the week. Chance of rain 55% on Thursday. Chance of rain on Friday 55%. Chance of rain on Saturday 50%. The chance of rain on Sunday is 35%, and the chance of rain next Monday is 45%. So could see lots of rain coming in, and that's exactly what we need, Don, for the end of this month. Since it's been raining the entire month, let's just go through the entire month with rain. Apparently, it's switched around. May showers bring June flowers this year potentially. Well, we'll see. All right. Newport Richey, Florida, 72 degrees, high of 89 today, low of 71. Nice and clear skies today. Might be a little hot. It's going to get into the 90s later on this week. But pretty nice weather at Newport Richey, Florida for this time of year. Kind of what you expect at this time of year in Florida. In Middleboro, 52 degrees, cloudy skies, a high of 61, low of 49 today. Again, cloudy skies out the day today. Might be a little bit sunny this morning, but then again, the clouds will win out throughout the day. In Driscoll, Texas, high of 93, low of 80. Windy today, gusts up to 21 miles per hour. Windy tomorrow, high of 94, low of 78. So it's not going to be that comfortable when it comes to the weather over the next couple of days. Driscoll, North Dakota, 38 degrees in May in Driscoll, North Dakota. The cold weather continues. It kind of seems like wind gusts are enough to where real feel could be right around 32 degrees. So, wow, in May in Driscoll, North Dakota. Very interesting. High of 68 today, so it will warm up pretty nicely. So it'll rebound pretty nicely. Sunny skies today. High of 68, low of 38 in Driscoll, North Dakota. That is your weather. Now we go over to our today in histories. Open phone lines today, by the way, as well, if you want to call in. 508-822-1106. 508-822-1106 is the number to call. Now we have our today in histories. May 25th, 1660, Charles II lands at Dover at the invitation of the Convention Parliament, which marks the end of the Cromwell-proclaimed Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland. It begins the restoration of the British monarchy. There was a time in the 1600s where the British monarchy wasn't a thing, and Oliver Cromwell took over. It wasn't really like I said, not really a monarchy. Kind of something different in Britain, but eventually the monarchy did come back into power, and this is kind of like the start of it here. 1738, a treaty between Pennsylvania and Maryland ends the Conejogular War with a settlement of the boundary dispute and exchange of prisoners. 1819, the Argentine Constitution of 1819 is promulgated. 1833, the Chilean Constitution of 1833 is promulgated. So two big constitutions in South America there. 1925, the Scopes trial. John T. Scopes is indicted for teaching human evolution in Tennessee. Donna, did you ever learn about the Scopes trial when you were in school?
No.
I think I did. In
What year was
high
that?
School.
What year was that?
1925. Yep, 100 years ago today. Yep. So there's that as well. 1953, the first public television station, first PBS station in the United States, officially begins broadcasting. Don, you want to take a guess exactly where?
Boston.
No.
No?
No. KUHT from the campus of the University of Houston,
Wow.
Texas. Yes. There you
I
go.
thought Boston, I mean, I know Boston's big with, GBH is like one of the, WGBH is one of the older stations, I believe. I mean, it's been around as long as I remember watching TV.
Yes, yes. I mean, the Boston stations. There used to be NET before PBS took over. PBS took over. Was it 71? Trying to remember. I think it was 71.
Zoom, 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 zoom.
Yeah, I think they took over in 71.
You didn't get that, did you? You went right over your head. There used to be a show called Zoom.
Yes,
They
it was
go
around.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. I mean,
So-
it was a little theme they did. And
Yeah,
then,
it was around for a very long time, up until like a decade ago, I think. And
it was around. I mean, that was on all the time. I remember watching it. Yeah, 71 sounds right. That's about the time. I mean, if I'm
I think
born in
so.
67,
71.
it's about the time I started remembering TV. I mean,
yeah, because they had NET. Yep, they had NET.
Yep.
The National Education Television, and then that was bought out and folded, and then PBS came along. The PBS is very good. It's very good. I don't really watch it too much anymore. There's a lot of boring programs on there now, unfortunately. But as peak, I think PBS.
Not a lot of. You know what?
Really hard to
You know what PBS has a lot of. And even your grandmother, your mother's mother, liked watching the British.
Yes.
The British shows. There's a
Yes.
lot of them on
There's a lot
PBS,
of
and she really enjoyed.
Abby Rowan.
Yeah. She really enjoyed watching them.
There's several. I'm trying to remember one of them. Abbey Road, I think, was one. There's a couple.
And I remember watching something in 1992, which I really liked. It was a really good, well done documentary by former wasn't prime minister, it was Avi Eban.
Yes.
Okay, it was called Israel, a Nation Was Born. It was a 6-part series, I believe, and that came out around 1992, and that was broadcast on PBS, and it was well done documentary. He was foreign minister, and he had different roles in the government, from like the 50s on, or from the 60s on, or whatnot. But that was a well done documentary too. So I watched a lot of documentaries growing up in my teens, and a lot of them were on PBS. I mean, before cable really took root. I mean, before the Discovery Channel and the History Channel, and you had to deal with the ads, and they were
Yes.
well. I always thought growing up in my teenage years and in my early 20s that the best documentaries were always on WPBS.
Yeah.
Channel 2 and 44,
Absolutely.
like Dr. Quincy. So I mean, that was the real McCoy, the real, and they had in my opinion, the superior and better documentaries. I learned so much. That was the true
They
learning
still
channel.
do.
That was the true learning channel. And how's the learning channel go from learning something to reality? They keep
Yeah.
the name for legal stuff, like MTV. used to be music videos, and then they.
It's not anymore.
Yeah, no. And, I mean, I think they might have like.
VH1, no, they don't. VH1 and MTV, they don't.
Well, they do. I think they have a segment. I think they have a time slot where they do have videos. Like old
Well,
school.
if it is,
But,
it's probably at night.
Huh?
It's probably at night when like no one watches the channel.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
No one watches it anyway. Every time I turn on MTV, it's the show Ridiculous.
well, yeah.
every time without fail. 9.9 times out of 10 when I turn on MTV, it's Ridiculous.
Well, it was A&E, Discovery, the Learning Channel. Those were and the History Channel, the go-to for a wide selection of documentaries,
Yep.
different documentaries, everything. But then the reality show craze, and it took them all over. And at that point in time, now you're looking going to YouTube for the older stuff because the newer content isn't being made because everyone,
yeah,
everyone likes reality shows.
PBS
Took it over.
PBS used to have a really good kids block. Reading Rainbow was great. They had some other great shows in their past. Now, I mean, it's not really that good.
What's that?
PBS Kids. It's
Oh.
really not that good anymore.
Well, you don't watch it.
I don't watch it. I know.
You're not a kid anymore.
I know. I'm saying generally, if any kid would tune into PBS, I don't think they would be too impressed.
Is Sesame Street still on, right? I
I
think.
haven't watched Sesame Street in years. I should have come out and say it. I am
Snuffleupagus.
not. I am
Yeah.
not a fan right now. I haven't been a fan of Sesame Street in years.
Yeah, but you're not a kid anymore, so. you're not supposed to be.
Exactly. No, exactly. I mean, I think they do have, they do have things that, can, what's the word? What's the word I'm trying to find? Cater to all audiences. There we go.
Well,
cater to all audiences, but I just.
You know what it is?
I don't know.
They haven't changed the format since like 1971 or whatever they started.
Yes.
And it was fine through the 70s, it was fine through the 80s, it was fine through the 90s, 2000s, 2010s. I always find when they have to tweak something that was working perfectly.
Mm-hmm. And they did. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
They
it-
tweaked
all-
too many things.
And I think they're trying to probably try to tweak it back.
Yeah.
And that's happening a lot in a lot of broadcasts.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
they went off the rails on trying to tweak things to make it better or whatever they thought in their producing world would work, and it's totally a lot of it's getting rejected.
Let's go back to the positives here at PBS. I don't want to. I don't want to spend this this segment bashing them for some of their programming.
I think they need to stay.
Yeah, of
think
course,
it's very
I
important.
agree too. But
I don't-
one of the good things.
I think they need to stay.
one of the good things that they do is the concerts.
Yeah.
The concert programming they have
Yeah.
is really good. They got bands like Joe Bonamassa. I think Joe Bonamassa probably has a partnership with PBS probably to air a lot of his stuff because I see him on there a lot.
The first time I've ever listened to Joe Bonamassa was he did like a Red Rocks thing.
Yeah, that was on PBS.
He was really young.
Yeah, that was on PBS. I mean, I think there's several of those shows,
Sure.
Red Rock shows, that were on PBS.
Yeah.
So they do a great job.
No, they got to
those.
stay. Even in NPR, in my opinion, need to stay.
Yeah.
I
Maybe-
it out.
Again, maybe you change the way we pay for these things. Maybe
Well, they got to look at the whole formula. They got to look at.
they can look
everything.
at it, of course.
They got to try to keep everyone happy. You there's compromise everywhere. I mean, people who don't want to compromise are this far left and this. I'm not saying left and right, but I'm saying this far on the spectrum on one side and this far on the spectrum on the other side. No way you can really.
We have to kind of get back to in the middle kind of thing. We have to kind of get back to both sides.
Well,
working
when things are in the
together.
middle, it's just everything just catches on fire.
Exactly.
It's I grew up with these institutions. I want you to, if you have a kid or whatever, and you have
I don't want to see PBS go.
No. I mean, these are really important institutions that I grew up with.
I just think they need to fix some things.
I just think that everyone needs to put their heads together and figure it out and come to some common ground. Yeah,
They need to go. They
Yeah.
need to bring back some of the old programming.
Yeah, I don't want to see it go.
They need to bring back some of the old programming, honestly. I don't think Zoom should have ever been taken off the air.
It always seems like it's a lightning rod.
Zoom should have been never taken off the air. Another show that should have never been taken off the air that was Sabumafu.
What?
Sabumafu.
I never heard that one.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh.
It's a good one.
But yeah.
Unfortunately, the main animal character from Sabumafu did pass away. So.
And then
and
what else made WGBH was Antique Roadshow.
Antique Roadshow, I think it's still on.
This Old House.
Yep.
And then Bob Vila.
I think This Old House is still on too.
Yeah, but Bob Vila got a big show. He went off PBS and he had his own show with these other stations.
Mm-hmm.
But there was always This Old House, which
there's stuff that they can bring back where would make PBS better. I think they should strike a deal with Doctor Who. Maybe have Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Maybe have Doctor Who on PBS because that would be cool. That would
Did
add.
you ever watch the old Doctor Who?
I did. Yes.
I love that theme. The beginning.
Yes.
It was like spooky.
Like the most recent Doctors have been pretty good. I haven't watched Doctor Who in a while.
But do they still play the old ones?
Yeah.
The old school ones?
I don't know. They usually would be on BBC America or BBC.
Yeah, right.
So I'm not sure, but I know that that would definitely bring some eyes to PBS.
Sure.
They've had Doctor Who, maybe another one or two British shows or something like that.
Yeah.
Just find some shows where you can put it on PBS and get some eyes on it, like Star Trek maybe. I don't know.
Maybe, but
Bring back Reading Rainbow.
Well, the thing is, bring back the old school ones too. Play the old school ones.
Bring back, play Reading Rainbow again.
I'm not sure if some of these executives and producers are like, oh, we can't because of this, that, and the other thing. No, it's people grew up with that. That's
Exactly.
the original. You're not going to play it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the problem is, I think they're losing a lot of eyes is because they won't play the old ones.
Exactly.
They'll just play the new ones because these are family friendly. I mean, everything I grew up with, besides Benny Hill, was family friendly that I watched.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Benny Hill was I think they was on 56 growing up, but yeah.
All right. Well, bottom line here with PBS is they need to stay, but they need to improve. That's all. That's all. that's the bottom line. They need to stay. They should stay. Same thing with NPR and all these other stations. They need to stay, but they should also try to find ways to improve.
Well, it's not. I want to say improve. I would say more like.
Put more eyes on it.
Yeah, I mean,
get fresher programming.
Get more people involved. Get more people to like
And get more
content.
People. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It just seems like you go down the aisle of stations, and one station is fixed to these people.
Well,
I mean, it's just
it's also the same with a lot of PBS stations.
Well, you sell
It's the
TVs.
same programming.
You
too.
sell
Yes.
merchandise. You want everyone to show up to your store.
Yeah, so
Everybody.
I think they need new, fresh programming. New, fresh programming, or bring back some of the old classics as well, and mix it up. Don't have the same programming on every single day because that's what is killing MTV. That's what's killing VH1. That's what's killing a lot of these stations because they have the same exact programming every single day. Like I said with MTV, every time I turn it on, it's ridiculousness. And I don't have a problem with that TV series, but after a while, it gets boring. It's the same format.
Well, you know what it is?
Boring.
It's the binge watching situation.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, usually when it's probably happening now, if you look around on Paramount or any of these channels, there's probably Yellowstone.
Yeah, it happens in every single channel. I think you need to kind of curb that a little bit. That's what streaming is for. That's what streaming is for. If you want to watch a marathon of your favorite shows, just go on a streaming service. if you have one.
I like a wide variety. Meaning, if you're going down and you're checking out like all the old like Adam 12s and emergency stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's the genre of that station. But I mean, to have it.
To have like 8 episodes in a row. Yeah. I don't know. For some television series, it might work. But for a lot of stations, it doesn't, and it just gets boring after a while.
Yeah.
All right, it's 7:30. Let's take our news break. We talked to we got into our PBS talk for the day, but it's an interesting topic.
No, it needs to stay.
It needs to
NPR
stay.
needs to stay.
It needs to stay. It needs to be talked about.
They just need to sell their product better for more people.
Sell their product better.
For more people. Yep.
Yes. Okay, here we go. We're going to take our news break. We'll be right back. Interesting that evolved into talking about PBS for a half hour.
Well, the problem is you go on the news, depending on if it's a lefty or righty news.
Yeah.
The righties all want to get rid of it, and all the lefties love it, and they want to put all sorts of. And it's just like find a happy medium because everyone enjoys it.
Exactly. Find a happy medium. Everyone enjoys it, and no one wants it to go. Exactly.
Don't use it as a political pinata.
Don't use it as a political opinion. Exactly.
That is
it. Exactly.
Because usually what happens is when they do it, they go through like locusts. They eat everything. Down.
Budget deficits. But the Congressional Budget Office estimates the tax provisions would add more than $3 trillion to the national debt.
Hey,
Moody's downgraded America's credit rating out of concern with the U.S. budget deficit.
Not at all.
Oh, wait a minute. I hit.
The tax provisions would
Okay, it looks like I hit it twice by accident. That's my fault. Oops.
Downgraded America's
I thought it was there. I thought it was on their end.
heading toward an unsustainable mountain of debt. Ray Cluxton, Washington.
It is Memorial Day.
You're absolutely right about that website.
But
it was a scam.
I know that. Selling economic impact crap. Yeah, it's a scam.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's economic impact garbage or whatever the heck it is. It's a scam. It's just.
A declaration made by
They're coming from. Those people are coming from. Those scammers, they're coming from Africa.
General Order Number 1.
They do it's Nigeria.
What are they trying to sell you?
They're not trying to sell you anything. They're trying to scam you. They're just trying to take your money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, basically. They hide it as like you'll get money or something, or things like that. They're just trying to scam. They're just trying to take your money outright. Period.
Russia and Ukraine swapped hundreds more prisoners of war today, the third part of a major swap that became a rare mode of cooperation in otherwise failed efforts to reach a ceasefire. Another 303 soldiers swapped today. The music agency Sound Talent Group says 3 of its employees died in a private plane crash in the San Diego neighborhood last weekend, including the agency's co-founder, Dave Shapiro. More on these stories at Town Hall.
Yeah, apparently there was a drummer too that was on that plane, co-pilot on that plane from a Christian rock band called Devil Wears Prada or something. I never heard of them, but that's just that was a sad thing.
Head over to ReliefFactor.com or give them a call at 800-4-RELIEF. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by a team of doctors and scientists, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, your joints, your muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. Give Relief Factor's Relief Quick Start
here.
$2.95, a low-cost way for you to take it out for a test run.
Some ads done too at the end of this news.
ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4-RELIEF. See how you can live with less pain and you can say yes to more of everything you want with Relief Factor.
103.
Splash Street Auto Body, located at 48 Splash Street in Boston, Massachusetts, offers the highest quality collision repair and complete auto service for your car. They are a direct repair shop for all major insurance companies. You should reach them at 583-1495. They're open
We'll do all these ads
Monday
now.
through Thursday, 8 to 5.
Do one commercial break today.
On Fridays.
All these ads now.
Today.
Did you do one earlier?
No, I didn't do the ads yet.
583-1495. St. Vincent de Paul of Sacred Heart Church in Middleboro serves the
Get them all done.
towns of
Move now.
Middleboro, Lakeville,
We're going to deal with any
and
commercials.
Rochester. Our base of operations is in the lower level of the parish hall on Oak Street, directly across the street from Sacred Heart Church in downtown Middleboro. At this time, we serve approximately 500 families in our area. Many of them come to us for various types of aid. This can take many forms.
Okay, that was good.
Programs, utilities and rent assistance, agency referrals, clothing and furniture vouchers, and temporary lodging. For more information, go to svbbmiddleboro.org. May the good Lord bless you and keep you safe.
A warrior faces adversity. He fights through it. He finds a way. Freedom isn't free. Slow and strong. Release. Believe you can, and you will. Wheelchair for Warriors provides mobility solutions to veterans and first responders injured in the line of duty. Join the mission and visit wheelchairsforwarriors.org.
Matthew Mission Food Pantry helps people with food insecurities from the hardships of life. In a few short years, they have given more than 4,000 bags of groceries to those in need. For guests with limited transportation options, they are open every Saturday morning from 9:30 to 11:30 at the north door of the First Parish Church, 76 Church Green, and are available to anyone, no questions asked. The demand increases every week. With the looming reduction in SNAP benefits, the need is growing.
7:40, we're not even done with it.
Huh?
7:40, we're not even done with it.
Oh. Went off
We got into PBS.
we went off the rails of PBS.
It's alright, it's fine. It had to be talked about.
Matthew Mission Inc. is
It had to be talked about.
a 501c3 organization.
It's an interesting topic and it had to be talked about. That's all. We got all of our thoughts out. And that's important. Okay. Alright, 3, 2, 1, 0. And we are back here on Middleboro in Review. It's May 25th, 2025. I believe today would be what we call a palindrome. I'm not looking at the dates, in front of me, but I believe today would be what we call a palindrome, which would mean the same date forward and backward. So yeah, that's interesting. Okay, moving on from that. Coming up immediately after us, we have Bread of Life, and today's program will be, I expect, to go higher. That will be today's program that I picked out from the group of CDs we have for Bread of Life this morning. Again, Bread of Life with Pastor Ortez Vandross, coming up immediately after us. And great program every single Sunday, great message every single Sunday with Pastor Ortez Vandross. So stay tuned for that at 8:05 this morning. Now, it's 7:40 a.m. Let's continue with our state histories here. After we got to our little roundtable discussion on PBS done,
Yeah.
let's switch over to a couple of more today's histories. On this day, 1961, U.S. President John F. Kennedy announces before a special joint session of the U.S. Congress that his goal is to initiate a project to put a man on the moon before the end of the decade, and he did succeed in that mission. And of course, with the Apollo 11 mission that took place in 1969. 69. Yes, thank you. I didn't have the date. I didn't have the Apollo 11 thing in front of me. I just wanted to make sure I said that correctly. Yes, 1969 it took place, and unfortunately he wasn't there to see it. He was assassinated. His brother also was not there to see it either. He was assassinated as well.
Well, he missed it by a month or so.
A month.
Yeah, RFK was assassinated in June of '68, I believe.
But they did succeed. They put a man on the moon, and that's one of the biggest things in John F. Kennedy's legacy that will always be there. Is that the Apollo program there? All right, 1977. Here we go, Don. Here we go. You know what state is, Don? Today's date is May 25th. And you know what that means in film history, Don?
Oh, yeah, Star Wars.
Yes, exactly. Not just one Star Wars movie, but 3. We'll talk about that.
Oh, the trilogy?
Yeah, well, there's 3 movies that were released on May 25th.
So what's hubber about May 4th then if it was released on the 25th? What? The 4th be with you?
Yes.
That's dumb.
I
It
don't
was
know.
released on the 25th. Why not celebrate the 25th?
So, alright, here we go. Star Wars, the first one, retroactively titled Star Wars Episode 4 A New Hope, is released in U.S. theaters on this day, 1977. On this day, in 1983, Return of the Jedi was released. On this day in 2018, Solo, a Star Wars story, was released. So 3 Star Wars films, 2 in the original 9, or the big 9, as we call it. Could be the big 12 soon if there's another trilogy.
Ugh.
Yikes! I hope not. I hope that's it.
I just sat through Rogue One. I don't know what they did to that series. The first season was really good, and now they ran the gauntlet on the second season because they had 12 episodes.
Yeah.
And it was a 4-year period, so 3 episodes. It's just
Yeah. Well,
why'd they ruin it?
I
I figured that season would go 4 years.
I don't know that. Okay, we have our Today in History is done. Our birthdays, 1725, Samuel Ward, American politician. He was the 31st and 33rd governor of the colony of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. Kind of like a Grover Cleveland kind of deal, Don.
Yeah.
With that, Samuel Ward. All right. 1783, Philip P. Barber, American farmer and politician. He was the 12th Speaker of the United States House of Representatives. All right. 1803, Ralph Waldo Emerson, American poet and philosopher. And I believe he was born in Massachusetts. I think that's why I added him here. 1 second here. Yes, he was born in Boston as well. William Muldoon, American wrestler and trainer, born on this day, 1852. Born on this day, 1897, Gene Tunney, American boxer and soldier. And also born on this day in 1912, Dean Rockwell, American commander, wrestler, and coach. So you got 2 wrestlers born on this day, and you got a boxer born on this day. All right. 1939, here's one you might recognize, Don. Ian McKellen, born on this day in 1939, Don.
Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen, yeah.
I should know that, shouldn't I?
I would probably.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a little bit lesser known, maybe. but he's still pretty well known.
Okay.
1944, born on this day.
Who's Ian McKellen?
Ian McKellen is a actor. Let's see. What movies was he in? Let's see. Let's do that. Let's give you some of his filmography. He was in. So he made a stage debut. He was out on the stage quite a bit. He worked for a lot of different stage productions. He had worldwide fame for his film roles. He was King in Richard III in 1995. He was Magneto in the X-Men films, which is interesting there. He was in the Beauty and the Beast film, not the animated one, but the one that came out, the live-action one. He was Gandalf in the Lord of the Rings, which that was his big film role.
So fantasy,
yes,
magical fantasy seems to be his wheelhouse there.
Pretty much, yes. 1944, Frank Oz, English-born American puppeteer, filmmaker, and actor, born on this day in 1944. He is 81 today.
Frank Oz?
Yeah.
He was in the Blues Brothers.
Really?
Yeah, he was the prison warden of Prison Guard.
Here we go. We got a good one here for music. 1948, Klaus Meine, German rock singer and songwriter. Okay, I'm probably gonna get some hate. The song, "In Search of Peace of Mind." Okay, the original from Klaus Meine gets curb stomped by several different versions of this song. There's a version of that song that came out that Michael Schenker did with Robbie Romano. That's better than the original.
Yeah.
And then there's a version. There we go. A version of that song that came out in the late 90s. It was a live version done by Michael Schenker and his band. The singer escapes David Van Landing. There we go. David Van Landing, and that version is so good. It's so good. It curb stomps both of those versions, if I'm being completely honest. Nothing against the original version of the song, but that is a example of the cover, the subsequent versions of the song being better than the original.
Well, I don't think it has anything to do with trying to be better. I think a lot of these players who do covers love to grow up the songs.
Exactly.
And it's part of, and when they do them, they just really want to do such. And plus, the technology's better for them.
Technology's better, yeah.
I mean, that was 72. That was the first album.
I think so.
Yeah, that was from Scorpion's first album, 1972. Who knows what the studio looked like? It probably looked like this studio.
Yeah, I mean, he's not really known as a screamer. He's not really known as that. I don't think he was ever really known as that. I haven't listened to the entire discography of the Scorpions, so I don't know.
Right.
That song, I think that was the closest he came to something like that. But again, David Van Landing's version, it came out, I think it was 97.
And then Robert.
He does the scream part about 80 times better, and it just sounds better.
I think Robbie Romano does it the best.
Yeah. I think with that song, that's the important part of the song. Is that the part where the screaming comes in? If you have that feel.
If you look at a lead singer that jumps around and works with all these different artists, it's just Robbie Romano came from Chile, right. And he worked with Richie Blackmore. He worked with Michael Schenker, and he's doing a bunch of other stuff too. The guy's unbelievable. We got to see him in New Hampshire. It wasn't the best room though. I don't think it was the band. I think the acoustics were off in the room, and I think all the amps, something was up with the amps, because we went to this place twice, and I don't know, a sound stage. I'm not gonna name the place. Great place, but this wasn't the best sound.
All right, born on this day in 1950, Robbie Steinhardt. American rock violinist and singer for the band Kansas, Don.
Oh.
Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kansas.
I'm not looking at my phone. My phone's shut off on the other side of the table there.
Kansas. He was the only member, other than Steve Walsh. Him and Steve Walsh were the only original members of the band of Kansas who were not from Topeka.
Well,
Steinhardt was from Illinois.
well,
Chicago.
with Dust in the Wind. That's a real. I mean, if you listen to a lot of Kansas stuff, I mean, he does a lot of his playing, but Dust in the Wind was a big hit.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Born this day in 1963, Mike Myers, Don.
Oh,
He's great.
Mr. Evil.
He's so good.
Mr. Evil, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
I love him.
so good.
What a great character.
Shrek, of course.
Oh no, was that Mike Myers? Who's No, that was who was Mr. Evil?
Yeah.
No, it was Mike Myers. He
Austin
played
Powers,
Austin
right?
Powers. He
Yeah.
played Mr. Evil too.
Exactly.
He played Mr. Evil and he played Austin Powers. Yeah, he played
Shrek,
two roles
of
there.
course, as well. Shrek that was a big part of his career too. And apparently, there's a new Shrek movie coming out as well. I think next.
That was always been a good friend, and
Yeah.
they never ruined that.
No.
It seems like when they try
They
to.
came close. They came close with adding Justin Timberlake into the films, but
No, I mean some stuff is totally went off the rails and ruined, and no one wants nothing to do with it anymore.
exactly.
But
Shrek, they never. No, it's never really that. Yeah, exactly. Cillian Murphy, born on this day in 1976, Irish actor. He was in Oppenheimer, I believe, and several of the films as well. But that was a big one that he was in recently, I believe. 1978, Brian Urlacher, American football player, Chicago Bears.
the Bears.
Back when the Chicago Bears were,
It's
pretty
fun.
good.
It's funny that you say that because we lost George Wendt, and there's a skit where they're like the Bears. I mean,
Yeah,
all
the
these
Bears.
guys, and it's always been like everyone when you hear that the Chicago Bears, you always think of that skit that George Wendt did, the Bears,
Yeah.
and he was a great character actor, and I was sad when I really heard that because. He was your buddy. He was your pal at the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like one of the major players for the TV show. And I met him. I met him back in like the '90s when they had their final show. And yeah, whatever. It's too bad.
Turning 40 today, Roman Reigns, American football player. He started out playing football and then he became a wrestler. And he is pretty much known as one of the best wrestlers in the WWE at this point. Maybe outside of maybe Cody Rhodes, but Roman Reigns is 40 today. Wow. Born this day in 1990, he turns 35 today. Bo Dallas, another great wrestler for WWE. Currently in a stable called the Wyatt Six, and he is really good. He's really, really good. His brother, Bray Wyatt, passed away a year or two ago. Actually, his birthday was Friday, I believe. His birthday was Bray Wyatt's birthday. Born on this day in 1996. David Pastrnak, Boston Bruin, also known affectionately as Pasta as well. This amazing player for the Boston Bruins. One of our best players still on the team, and hopefully he's on the team for years to come because he's a great player. He is 29 today. So, wow. All right, Don, 4 minutes. We spent most of the show talking about our today mysteries today. Bro.
Well, at least we got to really
dissect
it.
We got to really dissect the today histories today, which we don't really usually get to do.
No, you fly for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
And we
4
got the
minutes.
lobster roll day
Lobster roll day, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's tomorrow there will be a chess meetup in Bridgewater. Tomorrow from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at 15 Cedar Street. It's the Cedar Street Community Center. Bridgewater Chess Club offers a free community program for players of all ages and skill levels. So if you want to learn some chess, go to Bridgewater tomorrow.
You're doing the morning wake up news tomorrow.
Morning wake up news tomorrow. Yep, exactly. Morning wake up news tomorrow. Middleboro Matters tomorrow. I'm running the board for Calvary Cares. It will be a taped program. It will be a taped program tomorrow. So Calvary Cares will not be live. It will be taped. As I got a tape from. I got a recording from them.
Now, can you say?
From him.
Can you say anything about what you did the other day with?
I don't think I can.
Oh,
Not yet.
all right.
I don't think I can. Not yet.
All right.
I haven't asked anybody if I can.
Okay.
So, stay tuned.
Yeah,
That's all I'll say. Stay tuned.
Can't say nothing but.
Can't say nothing, but pretty soon we will be able to say something. But stay tuned.
Yeah.
So 3 minutes. Don.
What are we talking about?
Transportation.
Oh well, yeah. The Cape Flyer.
Cape Flyer's open for
yeah,
business.
First
Officially.
first run of the season was Friday night. The street trains Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and yeah, a lot of people say they should put more trains on. People talking about having summer service during the week would boost up. Because a lot of people go there during the week. Maybe one train a week, but they're only doing one train a day anyway.
I think if they improve the rails a little bit, they can do that.
It's not that. I think they can't lower that bridge every time. It's the canal.
No, exactly. I mean, but how are they going to fix that? That's the thing. How can they
That's not going
remedy
to
that?
be.
They can't.
No, I mean, I don't think they could have.
They can't remedy that.
I'm not sure if they could do full bore commuter rail service in the Cape because it'd just be too much work.
It'd be too much.
Well, I mean, I talked about this before, and
unless they build a separate bridge, that doesn't have to be. That doesn't have to be just a rail bridge. That doesn't have to be lowered or anything like that.
Maybe in the planning of the new bridge, maybe they should put a track in the center of it. Center of the bridge,
Yeah.
high-speed track,
Absolutely, yeah.
and
That's something that it should do.
well, the railroad bridge that's getting up there.
Then yes, they want to spend the money to do it.
Well, they should because they'll take a lot of vehicles off the road, and maybe run the line up in the medium strip of Route 6.
Well, you know what? We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
I mean, have two lines. Have the other line too as like a tourist railroad and whatnot. But I mean, if you want strict commuter, get people back and forth from Boston,
Yeah.
that's kind of the way to
Well,
go.
we'll see what happens. Also, on June 5th, my birthday apparently. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They did this on purpose, you know.
What?
To schedule a major MBTA meeting on my birthday. For some
Where's the
reason.
meeting gonna be?
I don't know.
We should go.
I don't know. I don't think they've announced it yet. But June 5th.
They usually run them at night, right?
It's usually at night.
Yeah.
June 5th, there will be a meeting pertaining to South Coast Rail. So, on June 5th. I'm not sure where it's going to take place, or really even what time it's going to take place, but it usually takes place at night. So if we get any updates on that, we'll talk
What's
about
it for? Because of the problems they had?
Yes, that's what it is for. Exactly. It's for public input.
Well, I don't think they should have took Middleboro Lakeville train out. I mean, they should run trains to Middleboro Lakeville too,
Yeah.
and terminate and run back because they still got to serve all those other stations. And when you have problems at the other end of the line because of the crossing, because it's a lot of single tracks territory, it messes up the commuter rail that's been in existence for 30 years. I always thought that Middleboro Lakeville was one of the most successful, and now because it's going further, so I mean they should have a few trains that just terminate at Lakeville, Middleboro, you know.
Okay, with that, thank you everyone for tuning in today. Next week, I promise we'll have more on the show than just Mid-City Histories. We will be talking about much more on the show. Transportation, sports. I think we'll do a sports segment. I haven't done a sports segment in a very long time. So we'll probably do that as well. And much more. We'll find some local events to talk about too. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Broadcasting live from the Conference Studios at Boston Church Green, we are AM 1530, WBBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DB, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
Okay, so that decided to work. Perfect.
President Trump last week declared himself a fiscal hawk, and the White House claims that the legislation approved by the House won't increase budget deficits. But the Congressional Budget Office estimates the tax provisions would add more than $3 trillion